Hello everyone, and welcome back to Opinion Sustained. And it's been a while, hasn't it? My last upload is 3 weeks ago, but I am back to an extent, and I've been a bit sick. I still am sick, so if my voice is a bit down, it's under the weather. That's why. However, I'll be making a bit of a change of ideas for videos. I'm going to make this into a sort of weekly sort of thing where I just say the news for the week. And I'm going to start by the news for this week. 7 days ago, exactly, or about, FromSoft, that has the parent company called Katagawa, was pushing Sony towards an acquisition. And again, why is this an issue? Sony has been buying a lot of studios, usually ruining them, but in the past few years, Sony has not made a good decision. Most of the time, they've ruined the studios, bankrupt them, and most of them are really like they're forcing bad decisions. Best example is Helldivers 2. That is the best examples, and no one is really going to let that go because, well, they actively wanted to ruin the game, and the game right now is not in the best position, but it's still good enough for what it provides, right? But at a point, they really did sort of force something that should not be forced on players, and they got what they deserved by a lot of backlash, and now people are more scared from them acquiring FromSoft. Now, why is FromSoft something that people talk about? Mainly because FromSoft is the creator of the beloved Soulsborne games, mainly Dark Souls, Elden Ring just recently. The best game I believe I've ever played is Elden Ring. They have also made many other games, for example Armored Core 6, which is in the background right now. Great game. If you have not played it, it's great. It doesn't have the full-on Dark Souls ideas, but I'm not going to go off track here. And the idea here is that FromSoft has always been free to do what they want, and because they're passionate about what they're doing and what they're creating, it's scary that Sony is trying to acquire them. This might limit their own freedom of expression while they're playing games, or creating games rather. And this is a problem. Most people dislike this just because of this idea. Now, okay, this is one topic. What else is there? What else are you going to talk about? Well, just recently after this, Ubisoft, another game publisher that is extremely infamous to this point, is shutting down XDefiant. Now, I personally have not played XDefiant. It took too much space, and the internet quota in my place, or rather country, is not really that easy to come by, so it's just a personal thing. However, XDefiant being shut down is very interesting because XDefiant was a direct competitor with Call of Duty. People thought it was going to be the Call of Duty killer, and at the time of its release, it had a good sort of chunk of player base. People were excited to play it. However, for some reason, they didn't do enough to keep the flames going. When you create a strong, a cool sword or a cool shield, you need to strike while the hammer and the metal is still hot. And they didn't do that. They sort of calmed down and let it cool down. And now, while the game is kind of good, it's not enough for them, and they were like, no, we're not going to spend any more. And Ubisoft in general, it has had very, very infamous few years now. And XDefiant is shutting down. They've stopped people from downloading the game. They're allowing one more season for the players that are currently playing it, but that's about it. So it's an L for most game developers in general, because if Ubisoft is doing this and laying off 277 employees, then it's a sad day. Now, what else is there? Well, just recently, 2 days ago, the online star, quotation marks, her name is Hawk Tuwah girl, she was facing criticism for crypto coin rug pulling. Now, she does not like that, and her team, the people who are scammers as well, disliked people saying that. I'm not sure why. One of them even went on a rant, and CoffeeZilla, another very infamous, or rather famous YouTuber, has crushed them completely in a Twitter space. I'm not gonna call it X, I'm sorry. And they had just had a meltdown, a crash out on the talking space or stream or whatever you want to call it. And it was hilarious to watch. And people are like, oh, she scammed us and this and that. I mean, you're buying a crypto coin by an online store. This is not something new. And in my humble opinion, anyone who put money into this and bought the coins, you deserve to be scammed. Respectfully, or rather disrespectfully, it doesn't matter. Like, you see it's a coin, it's shit coin. It's not even a proper coin, and you're still buying it. I think you deserve this. On Twitter, she released, or rather her team was like, oh, the team has not sold any, but then immediately Twitter readers add context and they say, no, they have been selling since launch, and the majority of them have not bought any. And she's straight up lying, according to even CoffeeZilla and Twitter and so on and so forth. So this is interesting. This is very interesting that this is allowed, and that the people who have fell for this scam for some reason, I believe this is natural selection, are complaining. They deserve this hell. Honestly, they do. I mean, what am I supposed to tell you? I'm not gonna go any more into this. This is bullshit. I think this is trash, and they deserve to hold this L, honestly. Now, moving on from that, a bit of a more serious topic. Recently, rather like a day ago or 2 days ago, a CEO in the insurance health companies in the US, specifically the CEO of United Healthcare, has been banished to the shadow realm. That's another word for he's not with us right now. And this was done in the middle of the street. I'm not going to show the video. There are many newspapers, many places to watch it. Go somewhere else. I'm not doing that. But it's very interesting because I don't live in America personally. I live in rather somewhere else. I'm not gonna mention it, but the healthcare system is not. We're not that into it here. It's not that big enough in my country. However, because it's not really that good of a country. But in America, a healthcare system is well known for rather scamming people. They're insuring a set amount of money, and basically when now it's needed, they don't really give you that amount of money. They don't help you, your family, when you are in need, and it's quite interesting. And the response to him, getting game ended in real life is quite intriguing. Everyone's happy about it. It's very interesting to see, because I thought there will be people who are bootlickers, but even Americans, people there who are extremists in their ideas, still hated the guy. Many of them have lost their families because they couldn't pay for something that they were insured for. And Moist Critter had a whole video about this, 2 videos actually, and one of them is also about another healthcare chief who talks about, I believe it's a leaked video though. The first guy who got banished is called Brian Thompson, by the way. I don't think I mentioned it, but the other guy is called Andrew Whitty, and he was shocked that people are hating this. He's like, oh, again, Moist Critical talks about this. I'm not going to go too deep into it. But he was shocked in the video. He's like, why not? He was a great guy. And being a CEO is so stressful. It deserves all the millions of dollars that they get monthly. And the fact that they're cutting like 33% of the people who are insured refusing their treatment is insane. You can see many videos. I will link them all in the description as well. But this is quite interesting how in America the insurance system is this corrupt to the point that the country itself has had something like this happen. It's insane, and it's terrifying actually, just to think about it. But yeah, I mean, these are the most nuanced topics that I've seen this week, at least. And I'm not going to take much more of your time. I hope you have enjoyed the video. You can click on the descriptions below and see if there are other stuff that you're intrigued in. I will have videos, or rather links to my sources. Have a great day. Tell me down in the comment section what you think, and I'll see you all later.